How's it going, crew? This is Happy Days, and welcome to our first impressions video of Terraria Otherworld. So currently we've got some gameplay footage showing that the developers have released, and I'd just like to, have a bit of a chat about it and talk about some things I'm excited about and some things that I am concerned about at the same time. I just want to start by reading what they've got on their website. So it says, expanding upon the immensely popular action-sandbox title Terraria, exploring what might have been and approaching gameplay in a new direction, Terraria Otherworld represents a novel take on the Terraria experience. Set in an alternate dimension within the Terraria universe, Terraria Otherworld places the player in a life or death struggle to restore a once pristine world, now overrun by a malevolent force that has corrupted nature itself to its original splendor. Combining elements of sandbox gameplay with role-playing and strategy elements, Terraria Otherworld explores the Terraria experience in an innovative and unique way, providing a fresh approach to the open world genre. So, basically guys, they've sort of created a bit of a, the world's all messed up, they've built upon the corruption Halo aspect that's in the original Terraria, and it looks like it's the player's job to purify the world. And I like how they're working with that. Looking at the gameplay, you can see that the graphics have had a major overhaul. It still seems to use the grid approach because when the player seems to select ground, it does use the little yellow block targeting still. The graphics do seem updated and a lot more animation seems to be included as well. You can see those teleporters there on the screen. Tower defense elements appear to be in the game. Looking at those gun turrets there shooting things up. So I guess they're kind of building on the trap aspect that's been in Terraria as well, which does excite me because games like Craft the World have used tower defense elements, using the Tesla towers and the arrow towers, so that could be cool. So it looks like there's a lot of different biomes. This looks like the desert one right now. It's got the same 10 block bar, inventory bar on the top left corner, and the health and mana now has numerical representation as well as visual, which is kind of cool. It also uses the quarter heart display, much like Legend of Zelda, which I kind of like. Now, my concern, and it could be a small one, is that we don't play games like Terraria for the cutting edge graphics. I've got expensive PS3 games that, I've spent upwards $60, $70 on. I've played them for like an hour, guys, and I keep coming back to games like Terraria, which graphically are far inferior to cutting edge PS3, PS4 games, but, gameplay is what it's all about. So my big concern with this game, and I'm sure it will be fine, is that graphics are not as important. I would have been completely happy if they released Terraria 2, which they are going to do, I know, but graphics are not as important to me as gameplay. I love retro gaming. As long as it looks cool and controls smoothly, that's all I'm interested in at the end of the day. Now, I do like how they've kept a lot of things the same. Menu bar's the same. Looking at the combat here, it seems identical. Numbers flash up when monsters get hit. That character's using some sort of rocket launcher there, or grenades. And I noticed it just said even stone blocks, so I assume the corruption is still in it as well. These teleporter objects seem to feature in a lot of screens here. You can see it now with the gem floating above two things clashing together. So I'm wondering if there's a bit of a crafting system a la like a Command and Conquer, where you have a central summoning device and you can craft around it. I'm just guessing that could be a possibility. It also could be a warping mechanism very similar to games like Krea that allow you to warp back and forward to checkpoints, which is kind of cool. Just looking at the trees, it's a basic thing, but I do love the animation on some of the trees. There's just that bit more in-depth, which is really, really cool. The characters look fantastic. They've kept that pretty much the same. Small character build, fully shows whatever weapons and armor you're wearing. which I love that in games. I think it's fantastic because it allows for a lot of customization, especially in things like multiplayer. It looks like the world is fully destructible, like in Terraria, and you can see that just by that guy blowing up the ground. One thing they haven't shown is bosses, and I guess they're trying to keep that a secret until the game's released in June. And I kind of like that because the first time I saw the Eye of Cthulhu playing Terraria, you know, it summoned itself and it was the biggest thrill I'd had in a game for a while. You know, it just said the Eye of Cthulhu's awoken. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm running around with my wooden armor and this massive eye is like killing me, and then it killed my guide, and I loved it. So I hope they keep that magic in Terraria Otherworld. You know, those awesome boss fights. And just that dark way how they can summon themselves too. Very cool. Very much leaves you unprepared. Taking a closer look at the items in the menu bars, it looks like there's the typical pickaxe, hammers, axes, all that good stuff. There's projectile lemons. Yes, there's projectile lemons. No, there's projectile weapons, all that crafting material. I can see cobwebs in there. So it looks like they're keeping a lot of things that made Terraria awesome. So look guys, in the comments I'd love to hear you speculate. You know, talk about what you think's going to happen. If you've read anything that I haven't read, you know, post links to more information. And yeah guys, if I get any new information I'll update this thread here in this video. But look, I think it's going to be fantastic. I'll be buying it day one as soon as it's available, and I can't wait to get into it. Yeah, so guys, look, get involved in the discussion. That's the point of this video. Just quickly too, I need to give a shout out. Zachary has asked me to give him a shout out, Zachary Struble. He'd like me to say that Zachman wanted you to make a Terraria Otherworld video, and he hopes everyone likes it. So, from me to you, Zachary, I've liked doing this. I hope everyone else has liked it. And guys, if you ever want to do me to do a shout out for you, just leave a comment. And I like to do it like honest trailers where, you know, you get me to say something. Don't just say, oh, give me a shout out. And I'm like, yeah, hey Bob, how's it going? I think it's nice if you get me to say something too. Makes it a bit more interesting, makes it a bit more entertaining. Alright, that's about it for this video guys. I'm pumped for Terraria Otherworld. I hope you are too. 1.3 updates coming soon. Man, there's so much happening. So, leave a like, leave a comment, get involved in the discussion. Subscribe if you haven't yet. You know you want to. It's free. And until next time, stay happy. This is HappyDays signing out.